class. Today's class will discuss how your value changes with different time period of return. Most of the financial decision affects the farm's cash flow in different time period. For example, if a farm want to buy plant and machinery, it requires a huge cash outflow and it starts generating cash inflow in long run when the plant and machinery going to be utilized. Or if company plan to borrow money, it have to it have a huge cash inflow to the farm and also it creates interest liability to the farm and rather than borrowing money. If firm issue share to the public to generate fund, it have to pay dividend to them. You can analyze that in every decision there is a cash inflow or cash outflow to the organization. Decision making requires that the cash flows which firm expected to give or receive in a period of time should be logically compared. If a firm have different cash flow decision with different risks and time, manager have to appropriately adjust the differences. That means adjust the risks and time, then consider for comparison. The recognition of time value of money and risks is a vital for decision making. If you are not capable of adjust the risks and time, but the uh, both factor affected the return, then in long run your firm may not be survive in this competitive environment. Here is the term arise. What is Time preference of time preference of money is an individual's preference for possession of a given amount of money now rather than same amount of in the future time. Let elaborate it with an example. Let I'm going to offer you 1000 of money now and 1000 of money after 1 year. Which one you are going to choose? 1000 money now or 1000 money after 1 year? No doubt all of you choose 1000 of money now. Why you are going to choosing 1000 money of money now? Because there is always a uncertainty that the 1000 of money may not be available to me. That 1000 money may not be available to me after 1 year, or the value of 1000 money what uh, value of 1000 money now is not the same after 1 year. Or you may choose the preference of consumption, that I'm going to choose 1000 of money now because I want to consume now what I have the needs and wants. And if there is a investment opportunity you have, you also choose the 1000 of money now rather than choosing 1000 of money after 1 year. In investment opportunity, if your bank going to give you 5% of rate of return on saving account, you choose 1000 money now and invest in your saving bank that gives you 1050 rupees after 1 year. After 1 year, that's much higher than the 1000 money what I will give after 1 year. That's why you are choosing 1000 of money now. That's why here is your Three reasons may be attributed to individuals' time preference of money. First one is your risk, second one is your preference of consumption, and third one is your investment opportunity. In required, what is required rate of return? In the required rate of return, the time preference of money is generally expressed in as interest rate. That the interest is positive even though there is no risk. Uh, all of you know that always there is a risk associated with the return. But in this case, we are considering that there is no risk, but there is a positive return. That's why it's called also called the risk-free return. For example, if a preference rate is 10%, then the investor can accept the offer of having 1100 rupees after 1 year rather than 1000 money now, because both are same. After after 1 year, the 1000 of money becomes 1100 because the preference rate of return is 10%. But in reality, there is always a degree of risk associated with it, as I have already told. That finance teach you that there is always a risk associated with the return. Therefore, he would require a risk premium for waiting 1 year with a risk, which compensate him for both time and risk. So, what is the required rate of return? That the risk-free return plus your risk premium. Risk-free return compensate you for waiting 1 year. That's the time value, and the risk premium gives you compensate for waiting 1 year with accepting the risk. The required rate of return may also call the opportunity cost of capital. For comparable risks, it also it it calls so because investor can invest the different alternative with equitable risks. Like individual, it also applicable to farm while deciding the different alternative of investment. You can ignore the second one, that's the consumption, preference of consumption, that may not be considering in the farm, but all the factors that the risks and the time value both are considered by the farm while deciding the investment opportunity. The interest rate accounts for time value of money. It's irrespective of one person's attitude and preference. What who is the person and what's their preference may not be affect the interest rate of for the time value. You can calculate by taking an example how the farm or individual going to choose whether to invest in plan A or plan B. Let's say you have two opportunity. That's plan A, that your saving account gives you 10% of rate of return, and plan B or any security that gives you 1155 rupees after 1 year. If you have 1000 rupee and you are going to invest in plan B, after 1 year you are able to receive 1155 rupees. And if you have same amount of money 1000, you are going to deposit in your saving account at 10% rate of return. After 1 year, you will receive 1100 rupees. 1100 rupees is much lower than the 1155. That's why you always choose the plan B. If if both plan A and plan B are with same risks, if plan B have different risks, then you may not be considered. But if there is same risks for plan A and plan B, then you will consider always considering the plan B. In reversely calculated, we can also calculate that what's the present value of 11 rupees 1100 now, and what's the present value of 1155 now. If you considering the 1100, what will be the present value? Just multiply with your 100 divided by 110, that your rate of return, then it will give 1000 money what you have invested in your bank. And considering the 1155, what's the present value? That 100 divided by your 110, what's the interest rate? Then it gives you 1050 rupees. The present value of both are different. That's why you always choose plan B, that you are receiving 1000 by 1050 rupees by giving 1000 to the plan B.